As Ethereum's transition to proof-of-stake approaches, many have wondered whether there will be a need for Layer 2 scaling solutions like Polygon. Well, it looks like the merge will have minimal effect on Ethereum's scalability. It's also likely to increase the demand for Ethereum, which will make it even harder to use. This means Layer 2s might soon be needed more than ever, and Polygon is perfectly positioned to profit. Today, I'm going to give you a brief breakdown of Polygon, bring you up to speed on some of the project's most important updates, and tell you why Matic could soon make a massive move. I hate to be a troll, but I need to hit you with a disclaimer before we roll. Being your financial advisor is not my role. Education and entertainment are my only goals. Please contact a financial advisor if your portfolio pains your soul. Also note that I hold Matic as part of my personal portfolio, but I'll keep my bias under control. If this is your first time visiting, my name is Guy and I create high-quality content about crypto things. Coins, tokens, news, reviews, and other topics that will make you think. If you're in, subscribe to the channel and ping that notification bell to begin. I know there isn't always time to watch until the end, which is why I always leave timestamps below that you can use to skip ahead. Just keep in mind that sticking around will help this video trend. With all that said, let's look at what Polygon has been up to and whether Matic is about to ascend. If you're unfamiliar with Polygon, here's a short summary. Polygon was founded in 2017 by crypto developers Jayanti Kanani, Sandeep Nailwal, and Anurag Arjun. Back then, Polygon was known as Matic Network, hence why its token ticker is Matic. Matic Network rebranded to Polygon in February 2021 and added crypto developer Mihailo Bielik as the project's fourth co-founder. Polygon was built by an Indian software company called Polygon Technologies, and its development is coordinated by the Polygon Foundation, which is presumably an Indian non-profit. Polygon raised around $5 million across 3 ICOs in 2019, and it has since raised hundreds of millions of dollars from crypto VCs. More on that in a moment. Now, Polygon's purpose is to produce the best scaling solutions for Ethereum, and its most popular scaling solution is the original Matic network, which is now referred to as the Polygon POS chain. You can think of the Polygon POS chain as being a copy of Ethereum that runs parallel to Ethereum and relies on it for security. The Polygon POS chain consists of 3 layers: the Ethereum layer, where Matic is staked, the Heimdall layer, which consists of 100 Polygon validators staking Matic, and the Bohr layer, which consists of 7 to 12 block producers that are chosen from the Heimdall validator set. The Bohr layer is basically the Polygon POS chain itself, and the purpose of the Heimdall layer is to take snapshots of the Bohr layer and periodically submit them to the Ethereum blockchain. If the POS chain is compromised, these snapshots can be referenced to recover user funds. Pretty cool, huh? This somewhat centralized setup allows Polygon's POS chain to process up to 65,000 transactions per second. And this speed has made Polygon Ethereum's most popular Layer 2, with around $4 billion in total value locked on some of Ethereum's most popular DeFi protocols. Now, it's important to point out that Polygon POS is just one of the scaling solutions provided by Polygon, though Polygon Hermes is the only other scaling solution that's currently live. In contrast to Polygon POS, Polygon Hermes uses ZK rollup technology, which has been the primary focus of Polygon since last summer. Polygon Hermes can currently process around 2,000 transactions per second, and according to a February presentation by Mihailo and Sandeep, it's currently limited to simple transactions, hence why it only holds around $500,000 in total value locked. In addition to Polygon Hermes, Polygon is working on 3 other zero-knowledge-based scaling solutions. These are Polygon Nightfall, Polygon Maiden, and Polygon Zero. The Matic token will eventually be used to pay for transaction fees on these scaling solutions and any others the Polygon team creates. Now, if you want to learn more about Polygon, you can refer to my previous video about the project, and that will be down in the description. Now, it's barely been 4 months since I last covered Polygon, but so much has happened since then that waiting any longer would have been unwise. And lots of you good people have been asking for an update too, and who am I to refuse you? So, on the same day that video went live, Polygon announced that it had purchased a crypto startup called Mir for $400 million to create the Polygon Zero ZK rollup scaling solution. In mid-December, Polygon announced the Polygon Nightfall ZK rollup scaling solution testnet in cooperation with Big Four accounting firm Ernst & Young. A few days later, Polygon partnered with Reddit co-founder Alexis Ohanian's VC firm to launch a $200 million decentralized social media fund. A few days after that, the Opera browser announced that it would be integrating with Polygon, making it possible for the browser's 80 million users to seamlessly interact with Polygon dApps. At the end of December, we haven't even got to this year yet, the Uniswap DEX officially deployed on Polygon, and this caused Matic to rally to a new all-time high. Now, this hype was cut short, however, because Polygon revealed that a massive bug had been found on Polygon's POS chain earlier that month. According to Cointelegraph, this bug put $24 billion of Matic at risk, which was almost the entirety of Matic's fully diluted market cap at the time. Unfortunately, a hacker was able to exploit the bug before it was patched and managed to get away with over $2 million worth of Matic. In a post-mortem blog post, the Polygon team explained that they had kept the hack under wraps because attracting attention to it could have resulted in other hackers joining in. Polygon's bad press continued into early January when the Polygon POS chain started to experience extremely high gas fees, failed transactions, and other bugs. This was because of a blockchain game called Sunflower Farmers, which was thankfully removed after the developers realized that bots were bloating the POS chain with transactions. Many in the Cosmos community took Polygon's pain as an opportunity to point out that it's probably best to have application-specific blockchains, and this is exactly what Cosmos is all about. You can learn more about Cosmos by using the link in the description. Anyways, in early January, Polygon also revealed a zero-knowledge technology, the wonderfully named Plonky 2, which will be used as part of Polygon Zero. If my calculations are correct, Plonky 2 will make it possible for Polygon Zero to process hundreds of thousands of transactions per second, as it is 100 times faster than other zero-knowledge technologies. In mid-January, Ethereum's EIP 1559 upgrade was introduced to Polygon's POS chain. For those unfamiliar, EIP 1559 involves burning a part of every transaction fee, with the remainder going to the miner that processed the transaction, in this case, the validator. Now, what's interesting is that Matic burns must be done manually by users on Ethereum, and this can only be done if their wallet has engaged in enough transactions to burn 25,000 Matic. Over 600,000 Matic have been burned so far, which is not too shabby given the manual process. At the end of January, YouTube's head of gaming joined Polygon Studios to help accelerate its NFT, metaverse, and blockchain gaming initiatives. Polygon's POS chain also hit a major milestone of over 7,000 decentralized applications, and the Polygon team subsequently launched a $15 million initiative to keep the exponential development going. Another Polygon-related headline that caught my eye around this time was the news that Vitalik Buterin had been given back $100 million from the $1 billion of Shiba Inu that he had donated to an Indian pandemic relief fund called Crypto Relief last year. Now, as it so happens, Polygon co-founder Sandeep Nailwal is the founder of Crypto Relief. The reason why he returned $100 million to Vitalik was because they had only been able to cash out around $470 million worth of SHIB and had only been able to donate around $70 million to credible charities. Returning $100 million made it possible for Vitalik to donate those funds to other initiatives, and it's quite possible that some of that capital will find its way into the coffers of Shiba Inu's top competitor, which is, of course, Dogecoin. Now, if you want to know which of those two dog coins is the best, you can check out my video about that using the link in the description. I digress. In early February, Polygon announced that it had raised $450 million from various crypto VCs, and I'm pretty sure that's the record for the largest single post-ICO raise for any crypto project to date. In an interview shortly afterwards, Sandeep Nailwal specified that the funds will be used to cover the expenses of Polygon's operations, which currently consist of a 300-person team. The blog post explaining the raise also seems to imply that a portion of these funds will go towards Polygon's push for cutting-edge zero-knowledge tech. Now, on the same day Polygon announced its raise, the Aave DeFi protocol announced that it had deployed its decentralized social media protocol called Lens to the Polygon POS chain. For those who don't know, Lens protocol has been in the works for over a year, and Aave has managed to hire some of the top developers from centralized social media companies to make its dream of a decentralized social media platform come true. At the end of February, a Polygon project called NFT Worlds added the Polygon POS chain to Minecraft, the popular sandbox game with over 140 million players around the world. Although NFT Worlds isn't affiliated with Minecraft, it has apparently managed to gain some significant traction within the crypto space. Polygon also released a jobs board for all the crypto projects in its ecosystem. So, if you're a fan of Polygon and looking for a crypto job, check it out. I'll leave a link to it in the description. In early March, Polygon announced that it had partnered with Tether to bring its USDT stablecoin to the Swiss city of Lugano, where it will be used as legal tender alongside Bitcoin and the city's own stablecoin. Publicly listed sports betting company DraftKings also became a validator on the Polygon POS chain. DraftKings initially partnered with Polygon for their NFTs, but it looks like they took the purple pill. Adobe is another publicly listed company that partnered with Polygon in early March. The partnership will see Adobe leverage the Polygon POS chain for NFTs related to its social media platform called Behance. And then, on March the 11th, the Polygon POS chain suddenly went offline and stayed offline for about a day. In a recent post-mortem blog post, the Polygon team explained that the Heimdall layer and Bohr layer experienced a synchronization issue, and when the team tried to fix it, it actually caused a second bug to emerge that took both layers of Polygon offline. Luckily, no funds were lost. In mid-March, Polygon partnered with Anchor to introduce liquid staking for Matic, making it possible for Matic delegators to freely trade tokenized representations of their staked Matic on Ethereum via Anchor. Polygon also integrated with Snapshot, a popular platform for gasless on-chain voting for crypto projects and protocols. At the end of March, Polygon announced the Ethereum Adoption DAO to encourage developers to come and build in Ethereum's ecosystem, which obviously includes Polygon. Grayscale also launched a smart contract fund that consists of Cardano, Solana, Avalanche, Polkadot, Polygon, Algorand, and Stellar. More recently, Polygon revealed a zero-knowledge-based decentralized identity solution called Polygon ID that claims to preserve user privacy. Polygon also partnered with the Maharashtra state government in India to issue digital caste certificates, which is honestly a bit concerning. It's nowhere near as terrifying as central bank digital currencies, however, and you can find out what those are all about by using the link in the description. Anyhow, as amazing as all of Polygon's developments, updates, announcements, and partnerships have been, Matic's price is essentially where it was when I last covered the project in early December. Matic also hasn't gone up much in percentage terms over the last year, though it is in an uptrend. This means something is suppressing Matic's price, and the answer seems to be supply. For starters, Matic has a fairly aggressive vesting schedule, and with an ICO price of 0.25 cent or less, early token holders are sitting on substantial gains, and that means some of them are probably selling. Historical data from CoinMarketCap suggests that Matic's circulating supply has increased by around 600 million over the last 4 months. CoinGecko's historical data suggests Matic's circulating supply hasn't changed at all, but this is very unlikely given Matic's vesting schedule. As it so happens, the vesting contract for the Polygon Foundation released 600 million Matic during the same period, and I know this because of the images I have from my previous video about the project. The fact that the Matic balances of the other vesting contracts have barely changed or even stayed the same suggests that most of the sell pressure is coming from the Polygon Foundation. Now, speculation that the Polygon Foundation's selling is suppressing Matic's price recently made the crypto headlines, and it makes sense if you do the maths. Last August, the Polygon Foundation allocated $1 billion worth of Matic from its treasury to fund the development of zero-knowledge technologies. The Polygon Foundation also paid up to 250 million Matic for its acquisition of Hermes network. Polygon's aforementioned purchase of Mir protocol reportedly cost up to 250 million Matic, and even Polygon's $450 million raise was actually an over-the-counter sale of Matic to various crypto VCs. I couldn't find any specific reference to vesting schedule for this $450 million in Matic, so one has to assume they're unlocked. Anyways, assuming Masari's vesting schedule for Matic is correct, all of this accounts for most, if not all, the Matic that has been vested to the Polygon Foundation so far, and I imagine the remainder has been spent on operating costs or other initiatives. Now, this would be fine were it not for the fact that the demand for Matic seems to be on the decline. As you can see, the number of new wallet addresses on Polygon's POS chain seems to have plateaued. What's worse is that the number of daily transactions on Polygon's POS chain has been on the decline for months, as has the total value locked in its DeFi protocols. Meanwhile, the total value locked on other Ethereum scaling solutions such as Arbitrum has been rising. EVM-compatible smart contract cryptocurrencies such as Avalanche and Phantom also continue to see both wallet and transaction growth. On that note, you can find out what Avalanche has been up to by watching my recent update about the project using the link in the description. Anyhow, this paints a pretty grim picture for Matic's price potential, but this ultimately depends on the demand that can be created by the upcoming milestones on the Polygon roadmap. Now, while Polygon doesn't have an official roadmap per se, co-founder Sandeep Nailwal revealed a timeline for Polygon's remaining scaling solutions in a February presentation. By the end of Q2, Polygon Nightfall should be live, and given that the testnet is already underway, there probably won't be any delays. Polygon's data availability blockchain called Avail will be launched by the end of the year, and Polygon Maiden and Polygon Zero will go live in about a year's time. What's more exciting was the purpose of Sandeep's presentation, which was to explain how and when Polygon will become fully decentralized. Sandeep noted that Polygon now has community governance via the ecosystem DAO and validator governance via Snapshot. Naturally, the next step is to introduce network governance, where both the Polygon community and its validators will be able to decide on parameter changes to Polygon's POS chain. If everything goes smoothly, Sandeep believes Polygon can be fully decentralized in 2 to 3 years. Now, keep this timeline in mind because I'll come back to it in a moment. In a more recent interview, Sandeep specified the statistics Polygon is shooting for in terms of scalability. The Polygon team wants the Polygon POS chain to comfortably support 1 to 2 million consecutive users in the short term and 100 million consecutive users in the long term. This suggests that there will be significant changes to the Polygon POS chain, and the aforementioned post-mortem of the chain's recent choke-up actually states that the Heimdall and Bohr layers will be merged to increase security and efficiency as part of an upcoming v3 upgrade. Besides scaling solutions, the Polygon team also seems to be focused on its recently announced digital ID. The blog post I mentioned earlier contains a detailed roadmap that includes a Polygon ID wallet, a Polygon ID application platform, and Polygon ID interoperability protocol. These are all due in 2022. If that wasn't spooky enough, in a February interview, Sandeep and fellow Polygon co-founder Jayanti Kanani explained that the project has pivoted to catering to institutions, primarily because institutions are looking to leverage the security of Ethereum in a scalable way. Now, this brings me to the challenges I foresee for Polygon, and I'll start by saying that I'm not really all that concerned about Polygon's digital ID aspirations. This is partly because a decentralized digital ID is very different from the sort of dystopian centralized IDs that we've seen rolled out in many countries over the last 2 years. If done right, a decentralized digital ID could unironically protect user privacy while introducing new use cases to cryptocurrency, particularly in the domain of decentralized finance and decentralized governance, which seems to be the angle Polygon is taking with this initiative. Partnering with centralized institutions to create a centralized digital ID on a private blockchain is something else entirely, however, and it looks like Polygon is open to exploring these opportunities. I suppose you can't blame them, though. The technology is open source, and if they refuse to help them, someone else will. Never mind the fact that Polygon isn't exactly based in the most crypto-friendly jurisdiction, and that means there's immense pressure to comply. That all being said, one of the biggest challenges that Polygon has is longer-term sustainability. A few moments ago, I asked you to remember that 2 to 3 year timeline for total decentralization. That's because Matic will reach its maximum supply in 2 to 3 years' time. At that point, there will be little to no incentive for validators on the Polygon POS chain to participate in processing transactions, and that could mean the end for that scaling solution. Now, to be fair, the alignment of these timelines could just be a coincidence, and chances are Matic's future emission is something that can and will be modified in the not-too-distant future. Still, there's no denying that it's alarming to see the Polygon Foundation selling off its Matic against this backdrop. With another vesting cliff coming up, we could see some more price suppression for Matic. And this ties into another challenge, and that's competition. To be clear, I have zero doubts that Polygon will give rise to cutting-edge scaling tech that nobody thought was possible. However, whether Polygon will be able to deliver on these promises before its competition is up for debate. From where I'm standing, it's clear that Polygon is starting to struggle on the adoption front, and even though new scaling solutions are on the way, there are almost a dozen other crypto projects with similar amounts of funding working on the exact same technologies. As such, Polygon's success and Matic's market cap fundamentally depends on whether it can stay consistently ahead of its competition, and I happen to believe that it can and will take the lead again in the coming months. That's why Polygon is still part of my portfolio, but I'll also be holding unofficial Ethereum Layer 2s, i.e. EVM-compatible Layer 1s, like Phantom, just in case. You can find out what Phantom has been up to lately by using the link in the description. That's all for today's Polygon update. If you found it informative, feel free to smash that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and ping that notification bell so you don't miss nothing. In the meantime, you can check out Coin Bureau clips for behind-the-scenes action and tune into the Coin Bureau podcast when you're doing menial tasks and want to get some crypto facts in. You can also find me on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram and get your daily dose of crypto updates on the Coin Bureau Telegram. I've even got a weekly newsletter that's packed with valuable info, as well as the other cryptos I hold as part of my personal portfolio. Last but not least, there's my Coin Bureau merch store where you can find sweaters, hoodies, and tees with awesome crypto designs like these. The link's in the description, if you please. To all of you still here, you're crypto champs. Thank you so much for watching. It's time for this guy to decamp. See you later, crypto traders.